you're carrying in getting all this done?
Well, for me, it's been the fact that Africa needs to rise, right? In a lot of the narrative about Africa is so negative. It's so much of there's that intentionality to push out the negative narrative about Africa and Africans. And I realized that we need to take the game to the West. And I'll explain to you. When the Arabs wanted to start their revolution and to be perceived seriously, you saw the purchase of Emirates,
Yes.
you know, even Asna, you know, and you started seeing the Emirates airline. And they started, in fact, Etihad Stadium, as you know, is, is owned by the Arabs as well. And
Newcastle too was bought recently by the
yeah, exactly. So they started investing in Europe and in the Americas, and it started changing the perception about who Arabs are and what they can do.
But they were also being accused of doing sports washing. That they are using their money to funnel and gain legitimacy.
People will always accuse you of anything.
Manchester City and even what they are doing.
They will always accuse you. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I mean, Prince Harry and Meghan came to Nigeria, and you need to see the British tabloid. They went crazy. You know, oh, why will you validate Nigeria with a royal presence?
Yeah.
And like as if we really need a royal presence to validate anything. So I think it's important for Africans to also begin to own businesses internationally. It helps people to know that we are not apes and monkeys. We have brains, and we're very intelligent people, and we can get our acts together. And we're not people who just all fight ourselves all the time and don't know what to do. We're real entrepreneurs, and we're really hardworking as well.
And one of the things I admire about you is how you, with stealth precision, get work done and create wealth.
Yeah.
So tell me the story about how you set out to become a millionaire first. Then we'll talk about when you are transitioning from millionaire to billionaire.
Yeah. Well, I think the first thing is that there are three phases to it. There's the phase of hard work. There's the phase of smart work. So hard work will earn you a living, right? Smart work added with hard work will make you a millionaire. Yeah.
Please explain that.
So, ultimately, people don't get paid premium for hard work. You can never earn premium income because you work hard.
Why?
Why? Because there's something called mental work. And it's part of the weakness of, a lot of us in Africa. We will do hard work. We're happy to work hard.
We're grafters.
Yeah, we are. But when it comes to the mental part, well, like, it's even almost like a stigma. I don't want to stress my brain. I don't want to think too much. Meanwhile, that's really where the premium money is.
Okay.
Right? So I give a typical example. In every organization, let's use a construction site. That means real estate. Then you have the bricklayer. He works harder than the foreman, isn't it?
Yes.
Okay? But he's paid lesser than the foreman.
Because the foreman does the thinking.
Yes. He does a bit more thinking than the bricklayer. Now, between the foreman and the engineer, the foreman does more work, right? But the engineer does less work, but is paid more. Because again, more thinking is required for engineering work. Now, between the engineer and the contractor, right? The engineer does more work, paid less, the contractor gets more done. Gets more money paid, even though he does less physical work, but more mental work.
And then the one who hires the contractor
Exactly.
is the one who says, I have the money.
Yes.
I want you to get the project done.
Yes.
You do all the thinking and the work.
Yes.
I pay you.
Absolutely.
And then I make the money.
Yes, absolutely. So the more mental work, the higher the chances of making more money. So hard work will earn you a living. You'll get by. There's diligence in labor. Every job is important, and you should never look down on it. However, if you're now serious of wanting to make something more premium, then you need to do more thinking, more mental work. However, To then move to the realm of being a billionaire, then you need to add one more.
What is that?
Network.
So hard work, smart work, network.
Network.
Network. Okay.
Yes.
So there's all work.
Yes, it's all. Thank you, and I like that. I love that you picked it. There's work involved, right? So I give you an example. An average person looks at rich people and say, "You see, he just went to play golf, right? And then, hanging out with friends and see them." But what he doesn't know is that in that golf course, money is exchanging hands.
Yeah.
Right, so he's networking with fellow billionaires, fellow multi-millionaires, and while they are playing, they are discussing each other's problem, and one person is finding solution. Money is exchanging hands, and unfortunately, some people remain at the level of just hard work and never move to smart work. Some people work hard and then add smart work to it, never move to network. Right, because they are too busy trying to work hard and work smart, and never create the time to their network.
So the time must be created.
The time, that's why it's part of work, because it is some level of work to intentionally begin to build wealthy relationship, to intentionally begin to build strategic relationships that have capacity to help you even become wealthier. It's a lot of work.
Okay. So this is a nice crash course you have given us in less than 5 minutes.
Absolutely.
On how to approach being or having the billionaire mindset.
Yes.
So work hard.
Yes.
It starts with working hard.
Yes.
Then you upgrade to working smart.
Yes.
Then after working smart, you network.
Yes.
Because by the time you are networking, you've done the hard work.
Yes.
You've done the smart work.
Absolutely.
You understand and appreciate how to solve problems on a higher level.
Exactly.
And then when you are networking,
yes,
you are providing solutions and discussions.
Yes, because the people who can pay you, you are meeting them.
Yeah.
Right? And you are saying, hey, we can do this. This is what our company does.
Yeah.
This is who we are and all of that. And I put it this way. Hard work plus smart work plus network equals to billionaire.
Sharp.
Sharp.
So are you a millionaire now or you're a billionaire? Because I heard you say that you're no longer CEO. You're chairman, which means that you are moving to the scales now. So where are you now?
Well, so, I mean, when it comes to whether you're a millionaire or billionaire, we need to establish some facts, right? It is never cash in the bank. It is valuation. It's about what is everything worth, really, But I can tell you, again, our company is worth hundreds of millions of dollars in real estate asset under our management, and we're soon reaching billions in dollars. However, of course, in Naira, we do multiple of billions.
Okay. No, we're still sticking to dollar now.
Yeah.
So in terms of dollar status, you are still a millionaire.
In terms of dollar status, we're close to the billion level.
You're
very
close.
soon.
How close?
Very, very.
6 months, you'll be a billionaire?
Very close.
6 months time, you'll be a billionaire?
Very close.
Okay.
Yes, very close.
Is that the other code? You don't have to say so much.
No, so it's not about. So again, one of the challenges we face in Africa, people get too excited about, is it a billionaire, is it a millionaire, is it a trillionaire?
The title or the status.
That's not really the thing. It's about creating jobs. It's about adding value. It's about people trusting you. Whether you're a millionaire or you're a billionaire, ultimately it's people's money. And this is also one thing people don't know. And that's why a lot of people expect entrepreneurs to be lavish like politicians, and we're not. And the reason is because if I was still with a billionaire friend of mine and a mentor, and his executive assistant was saying to his face that this other person in your village, because they're all from the same village, they said you are not giving like that one. If I had to, that he had to tell his boss. So the three of us is that this other guy, he's been giving all the boys in the village doling out money, and they like him more than, And in fact, we all said it together, myself and this other. But I said, we are entrepreneurs. We are not politicians. Because ultimately, it's other people's money trusted in our care. Right? And we cannot just
be lavish.
Yes, the way, not that we don't want to, but if you do that, then you lose your capital, then you're out of business, and then you're in trouble. So everybody has reached to the tune of the trust people have in them. Whether it's Elon Musk, whether it's Bill Gates, whether it's Warren Buffett. I mean,
Sir Jim Ratcliffe.
yeah, it's all people's investment. People trust them, and that's why the conversation of network is important.
Yeah.
Because even in those network, they look at you straight, eyeball to eyeball. I'm giving you this money. What's the guarantee? I'll get it back plus interest. Right? I'm investing in your company. What's the guarantee? The company will be profitable. That's really what all your high net worth friends and investors are looking at. And once you start disappointing them because you are lavish with money that is really not yours, it's a lot of investment altogether. Of course, your own money is also there, but it's critically a lot of great people trusting you, investing their money with you.
I see. So, just so I'm clear, typically,
Yeah,
an entrepreneur is miserly.
typically, yes, absolutely. True entrepreneur.
A true one.
Yeah, true one. You know, we have pseudo ones.
Yeah.
Polypreneur.
Polypreneurs. Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
So, but real entrepreneur that, grind up from grass up is really, really shrewd.
Is everyone able to be an entrepreneur, or it's for a select few?
Everyone is able if they're willing. So it's just a function of choice, right? Are you interested in being an entrepreneur or you're not? And some of us are because we've been through a lot and we could see how being an entrepreneur helped change lives and transform lives. I just brought over 40 of our leaders to Ghana, all expense paid trip for leadership retreat, right? And you could see their lives being transformed. And we've done, Dubai, Maldives, several, and you see some of them say, this is my first time leaving, Nigeria. This is my first time leaving Africa. You've changed my life. And that's why I tell people, I don't know what it means by being rich and sad, being rich and depressed. I don't understand what that is. A true entrepreneur can't have that experience because in the course of building your empire, you are changing lives. Every day you're seeing how much your business is transforming lives and changing lives. So to now say, really, you are sad, you are rich and sad, it doesn't work. Of course, you experience challenges that gets you really down as an entrepreneur. I mean, there are always challenges you are surmounting every day. You have bills to be paid. You have investors that needs return. There are pressure. But what always encourage you is that this wasn't all about yourself. If it's about you and your family,
No point.
no issue, right? You've passed that level of just I need money for me and my family. But it's about the jobs that are being created. It's about changing the perception. I remember some months ago we did a conference in Houston, Texas, and I was on their TV, and immediately I was done speaking, the Congresswoman Shirley Jackson called my team and said, I want to be on this guy's platform. Right? And she made it very clear. She said, because this is what we have been saying we need black people to do. You are coming here to Houston, you are changing the narrative. People are beginning to see that a black man can build estates in a white man country. That's really how we will change and end racism. Right? It's not by just complaining every day. So when you see the grand picture, the bigger picture, right, it then keeps you going. But not everybody can endure the stress, the pressure that comes with all of that. I barely sleep 5 hours a day. So not everybody. Some people just want to do their 8-hour sleep. Some want to even extend it to 10 hours anyway. So I think it's a matter of choice. But being trained, everybody can be an entrepreneur with the training and the willingness.
Were you trained to be this, or you are naturally made for this?
I trained myself, absolutely. I mean, the same way there is no born medical doctor. There is no born. How many of you have seen a born pilot? Will you allow him fly you? Say this man was born to fly planes. And so fly. I mean, your life is at risk. So in the same way, there is no born entrepreneur. The same way there's no born leader. Every great leader has to invest in developing themselves, has to invest in learning and growing that and honing that skill over time. So to be a great entrepreneur, you have to work on yourself and your learning. And I'm still learning. I'm still networking. I'm still going to meetings that I pay $20,000 just to listen to people who are even way ahead of me and to network as well. So some of us at our level now, we go for meetings not just to learn. We also go to meet other successful people
And to
and
network.
network. Yeah.
I see. So the expression "your net work is your net worth"
Yes, absolutely.
is true.
Absolutely, absolutely. Because ultimately, your average of the 5 closest people to you, you know, you can try it. You can call 5 closest friends to you now,
Yeah.
and say, "What's your account? You know, what's your balance right now?" You try it, right, and you will see that it's just few digit minus or plus what you have.
I see.
So if you are really serious about changing that, you just need to start moving up. And the reason, and people always wonder how, is because money is very mental. When you say you are poor, we're not talking about your bank account. We're talking about your mind.
Your mindset.
It's about the mind. So as you begin to move with richer people, your mindset begins to change. That's number one. Number two, also, as you move with them with the right mindset, you're also able to provide solution to their problem. And guess what happened? The money start moving from them also to you. Because ultimately, some people have a lot of this money in excess, and they're willing to give it to whoever can solve their problem
And provide value.
and provide value. So the money also begin to move from them to you, because as you start solving their problem, they're willing to part away with their money with you as well.
You say something instructive here
Yeah.
about solutions.
Yes.
So everybody has a problem.
Yes. Absolutely. Rich or poor.
The art of making money
Yes.
is in problem solving.
Absolutely.
If you are not solution oriented,
Yes.
money cannot have a relationship with you.
Absolutely. Money, that's why we call it currency, right? Money is moving. So ultimately, money is chasing something. So what happens is that people who try to chase money never catch it, because money is also moving. Current, from the word current, currency.
Okay.
Right? So money is running. So the first idea is that, do I chase money or money chase me? And I tell people, the only way to have money chase you is to chase what money chases.
Which is what?
Value. Money is always moving in the direction of value. So as soon as you start chasing value, you become valuable, and guess what? Money is behind you, chasing you. Right? In all honesty, today, money chases me. Right? Some people chase money. Some people, money is chasing them. Money is just really looking for them. And it's because everywhere they go with value. They carry value. You and I agree that even this conversation, some
Yeah.
people really need to pay for it.
Yeah.
This shouldn't have been free.
That's true.
On national television.
That's true.
But that's value. That's what we're talking about. So when it comes to value, when you become the value, money will chase you. Right? And I think this is the revolution that Africa needs, because politicians have encouraged all of us. I know Ghana is in election season, and they've encouraged all of us. Oh, we will solve your problem. Don't worry. You sleep. Just vote me. You go and sleep. And that's a lie. We all have to carry our cross.
And we've all been successful at believing the lie.
Yes, we have. We get all deceived with all this. They will solve our problem. There's one good man somewhere, and the proof that he's a good man is that he's already helping the poor right now. But the man is loaning you people money, and he's, politician. Unlike typically interest that we get in the bank, 20%, 30%, 40%. Politicians charge you, 1,000,000% on any money, free money they give you during campaign. You're going to pay 1,000,000 times over. So, but the reality is, if Africa would change, and I'm preaching this narrative, Africa must raise entrepreneurs. Africa must raise leaders. You have to be successful in your private enterprise before you can help anybody. We made that same mistake in Nigeria as well. One man came to us, he said he doesn't steal. Oh. He is a good man. In fact, he has had a farm for so number of years. The farm, the cattle and the cow has not increased. And people say, hey, this man he will fight corruption. He's a good man. Right? He dealt with us for 8 years. We are still drinking of the medicine. Because I kept telling people during that election, and they were shouting, we wanted change. I said, this man cannot prove to us that in his private farm, he was able to move the private farm from 10-acre farm to a 100-acre farm.
May I pause you on that? So,
Yes.
in terms of the leadership that we are supposed to raise,
Yes.
I look at presidents around the world.
Yes.
And let me be very specific to the best in class.
Yes.
You've talked about entrepreneurs and growing things.
Yes.
If we have people who have a proven track record in creating wealth,
Yes.
can they pass as the best politicians?
No. And that's why they often don't get the position. Right? Because to really, transform a place, you have to sometimes be ruthless. And that's not the way of politics. Politics require, getting the collective, being nice. And that's why I believe one of the former president of Nigeria said, Africa has to come up with its own type of democracy. And I agree with him. Absolutely.
Because what exists cannot work for
It
us.
can't work because you can't play this trying to be nice to everybody and yet you change. Change is not easy. It's tough.
Yeah.
It's difficult. We all go to Rwanda. I'm sure you've been to
Yes.
Rwanda and we like it. But Rwanda is not your Western democracy.
It's not.
It's not.
But things work.
But things work, right? The fear of Pokigami is the beginning of wisdom in Rwanda. Right? So we must understand that we have to create our own type of democracy. And that's why I think people who have succeeded in a private life find it difficult to, get into position in public life because they will be too truthful. And you see, when we look at West Africa, Ghana is way ahead of, other West African countries, even though you are smaller.
Yeah.
Right? But you know what led to that. You and I know.
Yeah.
Right? The general who passed on recently.
Yes.
Right? What he did also influenced, the amazing change. You at least have some better electricity than we have in Nigeria.
Yeah.
We like to brag we are giants, but God will have a mercy on us.
Levels. Some things we can't debate about.
Exactly.
Okay.
So, but that also came because there was a leader who was firm, who wasn't trying to play, be nice to everybody, and at least cleaned up the system for a while. And then before democracy came again, and we can see even under the democracy, there's a few areas that need to improve.
I've always wondered this, and since you are in that space, I hope you give me an answer to
Yeah.
this. We've seen generational wealth built in other parts of the world. How does African wealth become generational wealth? What do we have to do?
Beautiful question. And by the way, I love your question. You are a very intelligent man.
Thank you, sir.
Right? Amazing. I love your questions. I think for us to really get to that point, a lot has to be done. A lot. What we used to have way back in the days was that fathers used to pass on information to their children through stories,
Yes.
through tales. But we no longer have those experiences we had way back in the day. It's no longer happening. And I think that wealthy people oftentimes fail to show. And I think it's about showing.
It's not about telling.
It's
about
not
showing.
about telling, it's about showing. For this retreat, for example, I had to bring my kids, one, because I needed to spend more time with them. I've been traveling a lot, so we're together. But they can see how hardworking their father is. They can see what he's doing. They can see. So while they're still at that phase of having fun, they were the only one that went to the swimming pool.
Yeah.
And they saw that they did that without their father. But they are beginning to learn the concept of hard work, the concept of value. And they are seeing it with their dad. And that's why a lot of time when they have opportunity to work hard, they are excited to work hard because they can see that that's the lifestyle of their father. So I think we are failing as a people to pass on information to the next generation. And I'll tell you one of the reasons why we're doing that. We are not writing books.
You've hit it right on the head.
We're not writing books. I'm meeting the chairman of this organization very soon. I'm hosting on my own podcast, so he has hosted me now. Right? And one of these, I want to ask him, do you have a book? Because if you have built this massive media empire,
He does.
there has to be a book. No, it's the book about how he built the media empire, right? Because we are not passing this generation on, this information on. the richest black man does not have a book on how he built his empire. The richest black woman has a book, but not on how she built her empire. You see the problem? And until we start doing this, we will not liberate Africa.
Is it not because we don't like to document what we go through?
Well, I mean, there are a lot-
Because even for Africans, you
Yeah.
hear that a lot. Africans do not have an easy relationship with diaries.
Yes.
You only write the appointments in it, but the
Yeah.
experiences, they don't write them in it.
Well, I agree. Diary is an issue, but I also feel that sometimes we're too scared, right? You see, a lot of entrepreneurs don't want to be known. They don't want to even be heard. I remember one of a great friend I met. This man has been doing over $20 billion in transaction in over 10 years.
Wow.
In oil business. Right? I even tried to host him. Once he just said he's busy, bam, he does. I mean, and I think it's because some of them feel politicians will come after them. Some of them feel they will be excessively extorted. You know, in Africa, once you hear a man is rich, they say, your boys are here. Chairman, your boys are loyal. And sometimes, you're asking yourself, what value have you added for me to just dole out money? Like it's not like I don't want to help, but I'm not helping you by giving you money. I give you that money, you spend it, it's gone. You need another one. I tell people this, right? Free money discourages effort. Free money discourages effort. So anytime you earn without working for it, without exchanging value for it, you just become lazy. You just mentally, you now say to yourself, God will bring another one. It was the prayer I prayed yesterday that made the man to just dash me money. And that's why we are constantly in this circle of poverty in Africa, because we are really, really building a system that is not really built on genuine exchange of value for money. It's by luck, by greeting someone well, by being nice to somebody. It's not really that value was exchanged for money.
Yeah.
So it's a whole, and I don't blame them, but I think they need to start coming out. They need to start writing. Else, we really will create more problem for Africa.
Unfortunately, time is not my good friend. But
Yes.
every time I meet you, there's such an outpour of wisdom. I thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you.
I see you have 3 books here.
Yes, so I brought them for you. I know I gave you
Oh, lovely.
some. Which one did I give you the last time, if you remember?
I have it. I don't have the name off of my head, but I know I have it.
But I think it was Billionaire Habits
Yes.
and Billionaire Codes
Yes.
that I gave you the last time. So I brought you 2.
Okay.
This will help you in real estate. As a media person, you
Yep.
should start your private real estate business, right? And it does not conflict with your job
At
in
all.
any way. So this is called the Billionaire Land Banker: How I Built My Multi-Billionaire Real Estate Empire from Zero Up, right? So
Thank
it
you
helps
very
you
much.
to understand how to identify lands, the right lands that the value will go up, And then we have this called maximizing your real estate investment, and this helps you to understand real estate globally, different types of real estate you can do.
Okay.
And yep.
Wow. Did you write it yourself?
All my books, I've written over 40 books.
Yourself?
Yeah, these are all my books.
You have anyone who helps you with your writing?
So
Proofreading?
I have a strategy to writing. I
Yeah.
do videos, and then my team transcribe,
Ha!
and then the book is ready.
The life hacker happens.
Yes, and I help a lot of wealthy entrepreneurs do the same. Yes, I help
Interesting.
them because I know a lot of. That shoe to really put pen to paper may be difficult, but in an interview session, right? Boom, we are getting content that can now be and it's so organic, and that's why my books are very easy to read. You love it. It's like we're talking,
Yeah.
right? Because most of them were transcribed from my interviews.
Interviews. Fantastic.
Yeah.
Dr. Stephen
Yes.
Akintayo. If I'm left alone, we could do this till 12. But unfortunately, that's not what I can do today.
Yes.
As you leave us this morning,
Yeah.
for that person who has nothing in his bank account
Yeah.
but has a dream, a dream to change the world one step at a time,
Yeah.
what would you say to that person in creating value?
What my first word would be: a living dog is better than a dead lion. a living dog is better than a dead lion. You can build wealth starting from the place of gratitude. That you are alive is a proof that there's a greater day ahead for you. That there are greater things that are about to happen. I started my business with just 1,000 Nigerian naira, about $10, and see what we've done today.
In how many years?
You know, in 16 years. In fact, this month is our 16th year anniversary.
Wow.
Right? So, but I looked at myself in that small, I started the business in my hostel. I was a student in my hostel room apartment, 12 by 15 foot, and I wrote down a 50-year goal plan of where I'm going. I had no money, but I started with a dream. So, first thing, be grateful that you are even alive, because that's the proof you are going far. Start small, think big, and grow fast. And finally, which is extremely important, look for mentors at your level. There are people around you who are willing to help you, right? Don't go for people who don't have your time. If you come to me now, well, maybe you have to pay, or it's difficult to catch me, right? But there are people at your level, in your community, in your school. Somebody is there who is a bit ahead. Go and meet them, get some wisdom, and then start from where you are. Start with what you have, and watch the world change for you.
Dr. Stephen Akintayo, thank you for your time, for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
And for this morning's wisdom, I say it's a new day. Think differently, approach the world differently, and you would win.